What is going on, Raptors Nation? What is going on? It is Luca here back with another Raptors post-game video. If I sound a little off, I am a little under the weather, so bear with me. The Toronto Raptors get it done. They beat the Washington Wizards by 30 points, largest margin of victory for the Raptors this season. And they had a special surprise for everybody at the beginning of this one. We're going to talk about it. If y'all can do me a solid favor, please hit a like on the video. And also, please subscribe to the channel for more Raptors content just like this. Help us hit 1K subs over here on the Raptors Nation YouTube channel. The Toronto Raptors did it, guys. They did what everybody wanted them to do. Darko finally changing it up. A starting lineup change for this one against the Wizards as the Raptors were on a 3-game losing streak, about to officially hit the panic button, and they changed it up. Yes, we saw Gary Trent Jr. replace Dennis Schroeder in the starting lineup, and point Scottie was officially activated as the Raptors are 1-0 in the point Scottie era. Raptors going with the starting lineup of Scottie Barnes, Gary Trent Jr., OG, Siakam, and Poeltl. And the Raptors, they look supercharged in this one. Look, I know they played against a very, very bad Wizards team, a team that was playing on the second of a back-to-back, but they looked supercharged on offense, sharing the ball. They finished this game with the second most assists in a game in franchise history. They finished with 43 assists, one shy of the all-time record for assists in a game, which they actually set earlier this season against the Pistons. And the Toronto Raptors, they did it on the defensive end. We're going to talk about the starters in just a minute here. But what caught my attention beyond the lineup change was the fact that the Raptors finally buckled down defensively and played the type of defense that we expect this team to play. The Raptors defense has always been their backbone. It was supposed to be this team's calling card coming into the season, and we saw it. This defense had effectively fallen off, but in this one, I know it comes against a very bad Wizards team. I cannot preface that enough, but the Raptors did a good job on the defensive end. They held the Wizards in check. I mean, Jordan Poole, another abysmal game against the Raptors. Everything was difficult for Washington in this one, it seemed. And the Raptors did a good job of scoring in transition on their way to the 30-point blowout win. All 5 Raptors starters, let's talk about it now, finishing in double figures and finishing in a positive. And actually, you want to know something crazy? Every single Raptors player who came into this one finished with a positive plus minus. I don't think I've ever seen this before. Every single player finished with a positive plus minus for the Raptors in this game against Washington. This was exactly what the Raptors needed with their season essentially falling apart and about to be in shambles. You look at the lineup change, Scottie Barnes, you put the ball in his hands more. He's going to be the primary ball handler. Good things are going to happen. 20 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists, plus 10, 8 of 16 from the field, 4 of 8 from 3. Continues to do a good job in the open court. He had 3 steals, 2 blocks. I mean, every time Scottie Barnes blocks a shot, like I said on X, it's just art. It's awesome to look at. Gary Trent Jr. starting 4 of 10, 12 points. Did hit a couple of threes, which you like to see. Obviously, Gary Trent Jr. in the starting lineup now is going to open things up a little bit more and give the Raptors a nice offensive punch. And hopefully Gary Trent Jr. can continue to space the floor and hit threes and hit shots. Jakob Poeltl had 10 points, 8 rebounds. And then OG Anunoby, he had a team high 26 points. He was great in this one. It was nice to see OG have a good bounce back performance. 26, 11 of 16 shooting, 3 of 7 from 3. He was a plus 24. And then Siakam, remember, he had the big game the last time these two teams met when the Raptors had to overcome that 23-point deficit to beat the Wizards back at Scotiabank Arena. He had 22, 11, and 6. Now let's talk about Dennis Schroeder. I thought Dennis Schroeder did a great job coming off the bench. Not to mention, he did play 2 more minutes to Gary Trent Jr., so even though Dennis Schroeder benched, Darko did play him 28 minutes, but Dennis Schroeder was a team high plus 29. And I really like Dennis's demeanor. He did not look defeated. He did not look like a guy who's bitter. He did not look like a guy who was upset. with his new role? No, he was the ultimate professional about this. He came in and he did his job and he did it effectively. When Dennis Schroeder is unselfish, that's the best version of Dennis Schroeder. He had 9 points, 10 assists, 4 rebounds. He had 8 assists in the first half alone. And he just did a solid job in those second unit minutes. And now when you have a guy like Schroeder leading that second unit, he's going to jumpstart that second unit. He's going to bring, that veteran presence, that leadership from the second unit that can really steer those guys in the right direction, because we've been seeing it all season long. The bench has really lacked an identity with Trent Jr. being inconsistent. So Dennis Schroeder can really take it upon himself and lead the second unit. So I want to give Dennis Schroeder a lot of credit because I really thought he handled himself professionally and he did a really good job in the bench minutes with the starting lineup change. As Chris Boucher, he had 6 points in 12 minutes. McDaniels, we saw him in the rotation. He played 19 minutes. And Otto Porter Jr. had 13 minutes. So Darko changed it up. Not only did we see the starting lineup change, but he brought in some new faces into the rotation, guys that we had inconsistently seen this season. A guy like McDaniels getting 19 minutes, Otto Porter Jr. getting 13. Precious Achiuwa didn't play for the entire first half. He came into the second half because Jakob Poeltl got into foul trouble. But I thought Precious did a good job on the defensive end. Precious's defense was really good in this one, even though he didn't get it going offensively. He only took 2 shots, 3 points. I thought Precious did a good job defensively. And then the guy who was effectively left out of your rotation and honestly is probably going to be out of the rotation from this point on if the Raptors continue to roll things as is. He did come into this game because it was a garbage time situation, but it's Malachi Flynn. Malachi Flynn only came into this game at the end when this game was all but over in garbage time. So it'll be interesting to see now if Flynn is effectively out of the rotation. My guess is that would be the case. So Darko, he did essentially go with 10 guys in the rotation, minus the guys who came into garbage time. But he went with the new starting lineup: Chris Boucher, McDaniels, Achiuwa, Otto Porter Jr., and Dennis Schroeder. So we'll see if Darko continues to roll out that 10-man rotation and features guys like McDaniels and Otto Porter Jr. a lot more. But overall, it wasn't just the starting lineup change that reinvigorated this Raptors team. It was their defense. Like I said, if the Raptors play solid defense, good things will happen. So it all came together for them. I'm not going to overreact. And look, I'm not going to say this is going to save the season. If you ask me honestly, do I think this is going to save the season? No, because I think the problems for the Raptors go beyond this. And also, they did go up against a very bad Wizards team. But at the same time, what I will say is this: I was very pleased with the new look Raptors performance in this one, and their energy was just night and day compared to the previous 3 defeats that the Raptors had. So what has been the theme all season long with this team, guys, is consistency. And we're about to see what this new version of the Raptors is made up of, because they look great tonight. How are they going to look when they take on the best team in the league on the road in Boston against the Celtics? We'll see. Scottie Barnes, anytime you can have more of Scottie Barnes leading with the ball in his hands, that's a good position to be in. We saw Scottie. He looks like an all-star. He's going to put up his numbers, and he's going to honestly have these type of numbers. He had these type of numbers before. They're going to be highlighted even more if Barnes is, in fact, given the starting point guard duty for the rest of the season. So we will see how the Raptors look Friday night against the Celtics. But, guys, what was your reaction to the Raptors' stand-up win against the Wizards? They needed this one coming out of the Christmas break. Let me know your thoughts. Hit a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, guys. Plus, ring the bell for more. That is it for me. This is Lucas signing off. As always, thanks so much for watching. I will catch you all again in the next one.